You are now listening to Giami Journey Radio. This is a Heart of a Symbol production. Where we strive to blow up your old paradigms. Alright, hey, so we're going to start with Hip Hop Decoded. We're going to move through some quick Vedic math. Then we're going to get to some of the stuff that I got as far as the rites of passage. Last time we met, it wasn't that many people here, but it was a dope session, and I had the radio going, and at the end I figured out that I had turned the damn mic off. So I mean, they was asking questions, we got into the math, we got deeper into the numbers, and the whole time it was not being recorded. So now I got to look to make sure that the mic is recording. So the sessions are getting better because people are asking questions now, and we get into more conversations. So when you talk, please talk up so that you can be heard. All right, now, one of the reasons that I'm taping this is for those that want to review the session. You go back, you can listen to it, you can skip through it, you can listen to it, you can share it with your friends. Also, for your own information, if it was a part of the discussion that you like, feel free to go back online, look online. You can find it on my Facebook. You can find it on my blog. Just go back and find the part that you like and just go over it. So when you talk up. Willie gonna lead the first part, then we're gonna get with Miss Tracy for the math part, which I'm gonna set up now, and then we're just gonna jump off from there.
So first I'll start off with the illustration. It says vibration, high vibration and low vibration. Vibrations illustration.
Wait a minute, I didn't know we were starting.
We are starting now.
Thank you.
Vibrations illustrations. Everything in the universe is moving. Some things are moving faster than others. This is what we call its vibration. To reach the higher spiritual frequencies, one must raise his or her vibration equal to or greater than energy that they're trying to communicate with. The activation of the chakras and what we eat mentally and spiritually can assist us in this process. Any comment? Chapter 24. How important is image? Image is nothing, or at least that's what Sprite would like you to think in its ad campaign to sell soda. However, if that's the case, then why do they use well-known artists, especially rappers and athletes, in their commercials? The truth of the matter is, image is everything. It's what sells the products and gets candidates elected, or even has the power to get defendants acquitted. Notice that I didn't suggest whether the candidate was qualified or the defendant was innocent or not. As long as the image suggests that they are, in most cases, that's all that really matters. This is why corporate America spends billions of dollars every year on marketing, promoting, and creating images. The hip-hop world is no different. One of the Webster's definition of word image is the projection of something that isn't really there. We will examine this definition a little closer in relation to hip-hop very shortly. Images are captured on film negatives, CD-ROM. This too will prove to be crucial in this analysis of image. Regarding its role in this art form we love so much. Thousands of images are captured by our brains every minute. In fact, there is no camera on the market today more powerful at capturing and storing images than human brain, especially one with melanin. Those who study mind control know and understand the importance of image. They understand that an alchemical process takes place when you tap into your memory bank to conjure up images surrounding the particular thought. And based on the nature of that thought, this will determine if the images are negative or positive. This also has an effect on the physical body as well. These images are stored forever, just like the film negative. Even the most frightening or horrible experiences from our past can be relive with a simple flash of images associated with their experience. This becomes a very powerful weapon for those who choose to use it as such. They no longer have to assassinate you physically. They can destroy your character through what I like to call image assassination. Anybody else want to read?
For instance, let's say you have powerful images in your mind of Will Smith, Wesley Snipes, Chris Tucker, Tracy Morgan, and Ving Rhames as being positive black men and role models to our community. Then you see them depicted as gay men in movies such as 6 Degrees of Separation, Two Wrong Fools, Fifth Element, The Longest Yard, and Pulp Fiction. Even though Rhames didn't play gay characters, there was a scene on Pulp Fiction where he engaged in a sexual act with another man. Even though we know that these men aren't gay and they're just acting, these images of them as such are captured forever. And whenever the media feels like it, they can flash these images across the screen to force you to relive the negative portrayal of our strong black men. This can be done to target the conscious or subconscious mind. The more subtle the image, the more potent the effects. The image of Muhammad Ali in the 60s was that of a powerful black man, one who would annihilate his opponent individual in the history of the United States. Here's the image of a black man refusing to fight in a white man's war and forcing Americans to acknowledge him as Muhammad Ali, not his slave name, Cassius Clay. He served as a beacon of light for black people all over the world. In fact, according to the Guinness Book of World Records, he is the most written about individual in the history of the world. Yet the image of Ali today is somewhat of a disgrace. Not the man himself, he will forever be the greatest, but the image of Ali plastered all over the screen is a disgrace. The image that I'm referring to in particular is the one of Ali representing America in the 1996 Olympics, stumbling and fumbling with the torchlight as if he is about to fall. Keep in mind that in his prime, Muhammad Ali was anti-American, based on the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He also taught Ali that the white man was the devil. America never forgave Ali for these actions, so they put him on display for the whole world to see, and said at this man you once called your hero. He is nothing now. This was done to destroy the positive image you once had of him. Unfortunately, the younger generation who never saw Ali in his prime will only store the image of the latter. You never saw pictures or events involving former President Ronald Reagan, who had Alzheimer's disease before he died. Why? The reason is that white people always preserve the images of their fallen heroes. They want you to remember them in their state of greatness. Now, lastly, let's look at the image from a spiritual level. Take the image of Jesus Christ. You know the famous painting, The Last Supper by Leonardo da Vinci, in which he painted Christ in the image of European descent. Even though we know that this was just a picture painted to favor the image of its creator, it sits at the head of every major church in the world as the official picture of Jesus Christ. Yet the Bible states that Jesus had hair of wool and feet like bronze, which would suggest, along with the region in which he was born, in that Jesus was a black man. So here is God's only son depicted in the image of a white man. So God must be white, right? That's the power of image. The masters of mind control. Yes, I'm talking about the Illuminati, let's be clear. Also like to use a technique called reverse imaging. Just about every actor and artist falls victim to this technique. It involves sending a positive flow of energy to the conscious mind, while sending a negative flow to the subconscious mind, or vice versa. For example, through music, movies, and television, and with the help of the media.
By now, you're probably saying to yourself, what does all this have to do with hip-hop? Well, since you have chosen to take the red pill into the matrix of hip-hop by reading this article, I felt compelled to show you just how deep the rabbit hole goes, and shows you the inner and outer relations of image and effect it has on hip-hop. Now let's move on. you can go to any urban city in America, especially New York, and see the images of us being portrayed. Brothers chilling on the corner, pants sagging, sporting do-rags on the dome, and rocking the latest kit, puffing on the little herb, drinking a 40, trying to holler at some shorties, and that ain't even a hustling cat. They rolling Benzos, Lexos, and Beamers, sitting on 20 straight iced out. The images of our women are even worse. Straight hoochie mamas dressed like strippers with they all out. 2 and 3 baby daddies, they gotta get paid or you can't get laid type of sisters. Not all of our people fit this description, of course. If you watch videos and movies with black people, you would think so. No matter what city, whether it's weed or Indo, Beamers or Six-Folds, the language and style may be different, but the images are all the same. Most hip-hoppers will say, we just keep it real. Yes, but the question I have to ask is, whose reality? Is it an artificially created reality, and what are the tools used to bring this artificial reality into existence? The answer is hip-hop music. You ever notice that wherever you go in the United States, it seems that you are in the same place? There's a mall, movie theater, Burger King, etc. in every city. This is called social engineering, and it's done to keep you from having an original thought. You feel at home even when you're not, and as long as you see the same images flash in your brain, the mind control program will always be in place. This is why monks go into the mountains to free themselves from the artificial environment. The hip-hop world is a victim of what I like to call culture engineering. Our very way of life is dictated to us through hip-hop songs and videos with images so powerful it's hard to distinguish what's art and what's real. This keeps an entire nation of young and energetic and spiritual beings locked into a negative frequency, a low vibration of material worship and seeing ourselves other than kings and queens. So when your favorite rapper says, I'm just rapping about what I know, he's probably telling the truth. The record companies play a major role in the images of its artists. If labels only sign artists with these negative images, every new artist will attempt to conform his image to a thug, hustler, pimp, or banger. These images are then shown all over the world via satellite as a representation of all black people. So if ever there comes a time to annihilate us, it would appear justified. We must be held more accountable for the images we portray. Every artist that loves hip-hop must begin to reevaluate their position in the game. Understand that it's deeper than it really appears. There are those who stand to benefit from our ignorance because they know who you are, but do you? We must begin to flash images that remind us that we are once God and goddesses. Images that vibrate on higher frequencies that will help us escape this current matrix lockdown and prepare us for the next paradigm. Michael Jackson attempted to do just that when he flashed images of glorious past in his Remember the Time video, and it almost cost him his career. Therefore, this is a very dangerous task, but a task that must be completed or our future generations will be doomed. We must never take the images that we represent for granted. Whether it's rapping, movies, commercials, or advertising, we must understand that image is everything.
So you have years in the book, right, Louis? What year was this book made?
I think it was,
Or
look at the front,
2004.
2004?
2004.
Good job.
2005.
2005.
2005. Close enough. So that's 10 years ago.
What'd you say?
What I missed?
Yes.
Yeah, somebody had asked when the book was written.
When was it written?
Yeah,
Yeah,
2005.
Yeah, this book old.
Shalil,
Huh?
comment?
The 1, 2. Hold on, let me make sure I'm saying it right. The third paragraph. I mean, obviously I'm going to disagree with that simply because the paragraph where it says, for instance, let's say you have powerful images in your mind of Will Smith, that whole paragraph.
Yeah.
I think that that's why I asked when it was written, because I thought maybe it was a lot older, but it's not. So I disagree with the idea that homosexuals are negative. That's really it.
Anyone else?
I think that. Oh wait, I have something else to say too. I think too. I would have liked to have heard. I think I would have liked to have heard some of the other things that. Because I agree with the hip hop thing, but I think a lot of times too we look at the things that we get as rewards. Like when Denzel won his first Oscar, it was like, oh, this is the first black male to win an Oscar since Sidney Poitier, which is like 23 years difference. But the reality is Denzel won it for playing a bad character after being brilliant in so many movies before that. So I don't know. I was constantly thinking about that too. How sometimes, we look at the basic stuff that we're, that was put in our heads as good, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Am I saying that right? We look at the basic stuff, but then we forget sometimes that there's much bigger stuff that is kind of missed because it's hidden behind rewards and
the distraction of what's
yeah.
real or what's substance. Like he's saying, it was Training Day that he got the award for, if I'm not mistaken, but he did Malcolm X brilliantly.
Yes.
But it's like, but we're giving them something,
right,
know.
Exactly.
So we're supposed to be happy about it, but not we're getting we're not getting rewarded for what's real. What's really us. We're getting rewarded for what to us is not real, but it's just playing that game.
Well, he talked about that in the text. I think he called it a double, where they give you the positive and the
Did he?
negative.
I must have missed that.
Yeah, he talked about it in the text.
Okay.
Let me see if I can find it.
The culture engineering. Is that
Yeah, it was
So
around there.
you being polite, Prophet, this week? What's going on? You got something to say?
Well, everybody just like kept on jumping in front of me before I can even get the cheese. So.
I mean, we used to you just speaking out, bro. Go ahead.
Going off of like what you said, I agree with you. About the gay part, I agree with you. I mean, but the thing is, like, the reason why I'm like speculating that the reason why he actually says that is bad is like not because of the fact that he's gay. I mean, not that. The whole what am I trying to say here? Basically, what I'm saying is like he's actually like attacking more like how they just put it in your face, like, like basically, metaphorically speaking, putting a cookie in your face and basically saying that this is a good cookie, a sugar cookie, mind you, not the chocolate chip one, just the sugar cookie. Put the sugar cookie in your face, saying that this is a good cookie, watch this cookie, see this cookie, look at the cookie. Right. Basically, what I'm saying is like he's just more attacking the idea of like putting that more into people's face, as opposed to like actually really attacking the idea.
Homosexuals.
Yeah.
Okay. I think it makes sense. I think too, like, I think sometimes I get frustrated just because, I don't know if you guys saw Dear White People, but I've been on this movie. Did you guys see it?
I wanted to. I got it.
It was so watered down.
Don't ruin it for me.
And it was a great movie, and they touched things, but it was so watered down. But in the movie, she talked about how there's this idea that when black people are saying we deserve this, that we're saying that white people don't deserve this, or when we say we deserve this, we're saying that white people are obsolete. And that, in its sense, is a form of racism, if you believe in reverse racism. So, I think that a lot of times we do say that. Not we, but some of us we spend so much time attacking white people for certain things that we don't even know. We don't know enough about who we are. Lupita Nyong'o won. What did she win? Best Actress. And that was another that double thing, because it was like, oh, well, she's also playing a slave, guys. Like, she's also playing a slave in a movie written by a white man. So, and in the same breath too, she's not even. She was born in Mexico, and I remember I said something to someone about, oh, congratulations to the first Mexican American in X amount of years to win an Oscar, and everybody was like, well, she's not Mexican American, because she's dark skinned and she's, her family's from Africa. You know what I mean? It's like that. It's like we're rewarding our people, but we don't know our people. We don't know where they're from. We don't know anything about them. And I think that's changed in music and in acting. I think that there's this idea of numbers and rewards and, all that stuff that we don't really we forget the facts. Mm-hmm.
I think in the examples that you use, we have to say they versus us, because you have to remember the power structure that is giving out those awards.
Right.
And so their whole agenda is to confuse.
Right.
So whether she's from Mexico or not, many will believe that her, or should know that her descendants are from Africa, or were the indigenous on the planet.
Right.
Okay, if we don't want to say African, So, and how they tend to show us, how they want to show us is what he said. I didn't find it yet, but he mentioned it, how they'll throw the positive in with the negative, and that causes more confusion.
What? I think it only causes confusion when you're expecting them to represent us.
Yeah.
Their awards are for how they see the world.
Right.
So of course Malcolm X would never win an Academy Award, because Malcolm X does not fit into their paradigm of excellence. I don't care how good you played the movie, how good the screenplay was, how good the cinematography was, it doesn't work. That'd be like expecting the spook who sat by the door to get acclaimed. So when we're talking about their rewards, they're giving us rewards for the roles that they like and they're comfortable with us being in.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So you can't. So we kind of get thrown off because they should give this. No, if we really believe that, then we need to set up our own academy and give our own awards. You know what I'm saying?
Which we do.
Well, then in that case, we need to stop complaining about when white folks give out the awards they want to give. When they give out our patah, because that's basically what that, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. When they give out our patah, we need to shut up because that's their awards. Let them do that. You know what I'm saying? We need to set up, and I think we need to do our own thing. And I think that's where a lot of confusion come in, because we want them to acclaim what we feel is greatness, when that has never been their job, or they don't even feel that's their responsibility. And we're crazy to think that it's their responsibility, because if we was on top, I don't think that we would be giving them honors either. I'm just throwing it out there.
I got one example. Kendrick Lamar didn't win a Grammy, and he lost to Macklemore, and he was talking about how only why he didn't win for real, because the white people's usually the ones buying the albums. We go to YouTube and download it or whatever, or an app and download it for free. We're not buying the albums. I mean, we might get it on that Apple store, but that's like cheap too. So we're not buying the whole album.
At the end of the day, though, it's still worthless.
Okay.
And Macklemore, I agree, because there's a couple people who said that, but Macklemore did come and say, I don't understand why I won.
He did say he understand why he won. He said he understand why he won.
Yeah, he understood why he won, but he didn't agree with his winning.
Right.
And I think that was, to me, interesting. And Beck won recently too against Beyonce. Mm-hmm. You know, Beyonce came out with 17 videos while being pregnant. You know what I mean? It was just like, and this album, and I it's funny too, because nobody listened to the Beck album, but didn't like him. It was a good album.
Okay, seriously, who's Beck?
That's what everybody says. Who's Beck?
Any a Canadian
He's
folk
they're
singer.
old.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're old.
He's old too. He's not new.
Yeah, he's an older dude.
And it was a good album. I did listen to it, so it was a good album. But even still, he said, I shouldn't have won. So I think that's the thing too. It's not necessarily the people who are winning or the people that we see. It's the people in the background that are, creating the confusion.
And hence, that's their job. I'm saying when we look at them on an economic level, when we look at the European on the political level, when we look at the power structure is designed to keep us confused. So we'll produce quality music, we'll produce quality movies, we'll produce quality books, and never get awarded for it. Never. And then we're confused because we want, I done did all this. I done got my doctorate. I done got all this. I need my recognition. You know what I'm saying? But we're looking at the wrong people to give us the recognition. You know what I'm saying? The issue is we have, like I said, we have to in a sense be satisfied with our group liking it. For example, for me, hip hop and Grammy don't go together. I don't give a damn how you say it, because hip hop, I'm old enough to remember where hip hop come from, how it come from, how it was dissed, all the way up to this point now. People mad because a white boy that's rapping get a Grammy. I don't give a damn if a black group never get a Grammy, because we never did hip hop for a damn Grammy. You know what I'm saying? And now it's like we upset when we don't get it. Like, you know what I'm saying? We never made. I mean, that is not ours. We don't need that. What we need is to recognize hip hop in our fashion. You know what I'm saying? You like the artist, you go support him. Every time you purchase an album from him, that's like a Grammy. Take it from somebody who got books that don't say it. You know what I'm saying? I feel I get a Grammy every time I get one click. You know what I'm saying? But now we upset when our favorite artists don't get the Grammy. How you expect somebody like Kendrick Lamar to get a Grammy?
Kendrick Lamar, oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, really?
Yeah.
Or let's even go deeper. Lupe Fiasco. You think Lupe Fiasco? I mean, really? The day Lupe Fiasco get a Grammy is the day that I might cut him out of my rap catalog. You know what I'm saying? Because the point is, they wouldn't. We get a thrill off of expecting them to recognize us. Why do we care? You know what I'm saying? Why do we really care?
We care, and I'm not saying that I do.
Right.
Because it's set up that way with the presidency. So now you had Africans who once knew that they was African and the system wasn't for them. Now it's that sense of confusion or that sense of inclusion when we've been more excluded than ever. Every rep, you got people hanging from trees. 2015, but you got the black man as the president.
Now, let's go there. You brought it up, right?
Of course.
Now, where does the line of, and I know people gonna be mad at me, but where does the line come for a black man? You understand what I'm saying? All right. How do we trace where you come from in our traditions? For example, if I wanted to become a pharaoh, right? The only way that I could actually become a pharaoh was if my mama brother was pharaoh. So in a sense, I belong to my mother's side of the family. My mother determined, in a sense, my name, right? So in African tradition, I have to ask this question: who does Obama belong to? I don't give a damn what his name is. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just going to keep it all the way real. Then I will say this: anybody that has been to Occidental College, has been to Harvard, has been brainwashed enough, has been taught and trained to run the system exactly how they have it. I'm going to say this: the day that we have to depend on somebody from Harvard giving us our freedom or giving us justice is the day that we'll never get it, which this last 8 years have shown us. Harvard was designed to develop individuals that will be the best at maintaining white supremacy. That's why they call them Ivy League schools. Y'all know why they call them Ivy League schools. I told you that before. Symbolism. He talking about symbolism. Let's talk about symbolism. What does Ivy do? It's poison. Now, y'all talking about poison ivy. I'm talking about the other type of ivy that you could touch that's even more deadly than poison ivy. Poison ivy will give you rashes that'll go away in about 3 days. This type of ivy is a little bit more dangerous. If you ever seen real ivy grows up on the side of buildings. It grows within wood. It grows within concrete. And the roots dig into the concrete, right? And ivy will erode a building from the outside. The building will still be standing. And ivy will grow up all the way around it. Roots getting in each little crack of it, pulling little pieces out. So that when the ivy is done, the system, the frame of the building will still look like it's still there, but the rest of the building will collapse because it has ate up everything. So when they talk about Ivy League schools, it's these type that they train individuals to fit into systems, to take systems over, erode them, and take them over. That's what Ivy League is about. So we got somebody that went to 2 Ivy League schools that's running the presidency, and we honestly think that he's going to benefit us. The fact of the matter is he's been trained through all of their institutions to maintain white supremacy. As a matter of fact, he might believe in white supremacy a little bit more than they do. But, you know, we can't say it, right? Because he's a brother. But then I asked the question. If we go back to our African tradition and we trace his line, his lineage back, his lineage goes through his mother, which puts him on what side of the spectrum? His children black because their mama is black. But when it really comes down to it,
what I grew up on is if you got a drop of black blood in you, and that's what most of us is going by, then you black, you melanated.
All right, cool. Now, I'm going like this. I'm looking at it like this. If I got to put a black man to run my thing, am I going to go with just the blood? Because I'm like this. We know a lot of intelligent black men who were born from the womb of a black woman that we know just by looking at them they would never be president. Got the same credentials as this dude. Same credentials. Might even be better. As a matter of fact, do y'all know that Michelle Obama got the same education as he got? Yeah. As a matter of fact, a lot of people that know the two would actually believe that Michelle Obama would probably make a better president than him. He got the right mixture at the right time. Now we go off the, because you're right. Because if they was to come and round all of us out, they would round up Obama.
Your mama white, you go over here.
Huh? They're not gonna do that. But if I have a long term strategy in killing you, I got time to separate y'all like that. And you see what I'm saying? Because we're not dealing with the Ku Klux Klan. We're dealing with white supremacy. White supremacy got a game plan that's 200 years long. While we're dealing with a day to day, we wake up day to day and make our plans. They already got something working 200 years from now, or at least they think they got something working 200 years from now. So I got time, so I can separate y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to take away that this is the first black president, but hey, considering,
he's not the first black president.
Huh?
He's not the first black.
All right, cool. I mean, now you can have an argument on that too. You know what I'm saying? But the first one that they say is the first black president, first off, his father is not even from America. His mother is white. He really ain't have y'all experience. You know what I'm saying? When it comes down to it, let's be honest. He ain't really Obama ain't had the experience that nobody had in this room. Growing up black in America. Hell, he was raised supposedly in Hawaii. Anybody been to Hawaii? It's hard living over there. You know, they got street gangs. They got street gangs and stuff over in Hawaii, right? It's hard living over there, right? We talking about a place where you can actually be homeless and live on the beach. I know a sister who her mom was homeless in Hawaii, and they used to go sleep on the beach at night. It's rough over there, right? It's hard, right? Come on now. He ain't got the same experience that most of y'all got. Okay, he went to Chicago, but he went to Chicago as a grown man. When I got little kids coming out of Chicago every day that come to my camp hungry. Come on, man. I'm sorry. What was you talking about?
We was talking about
They're never gonna give us ours.
the illusion of inclusion.
Right.
It makes it appear that we are included in certain things when we really aren't.
Right.
And I have brought up that, you know, with the president being black, that was an illusion that things would maybe be better or different. When in fact, you know, we got people hanging from trees.
We got people hanging from trees. We got police. We got police acting out on the psychosis and killing our boys in the street. You know what I'm saying? It's going crazy right now, and we got a black man in the White House, supposedly.
But I do have a question.
For who?
For the youth that are in the room, the many of y'all. What would you say is the image of the young black man or woman today? If we could just go around on the table, since this chapter was about image.
I know basically Columbus, a lot of people know they think they can hoop or they can rap.
Okay.
That's like the main thing.
Barber, rapper.
A lot of the youth is hungry to get it, though. I know that.
You said what?
A lot of youth is hungry to get it. I mean, you might not think they are by just looking on the outside, but a lot of the youth nowadays is hungry. They want more for themselves. I don't know about for the world. I know about for themselves.
But how do you think the world views you? What is your image?
Reckless, a rebel.
I think they think our men are angry and our women are unsatisfied.
What's the deal?
Anybody else?
I think that they think we dumb.
Young, dumb.
Anybody else?
I think
A threat?
A threat how? Because let's be clear on that. You said a threat? A threat how? On what level?
educated, mentally and physically.
Okay, all right. Mental and physical threat.
Yeah, I think that's true. I think they see us as a threat to their structure. Like if they put the wrong buttons on a youth, we're not going to just sit down and take it. Like we're a threat to the society, like how they want it. Like they said, somebody, I forgot, what some top person said, they push today's youth button is not going to turn out how they think it's going to turn out. It's going to be a whole nother war that the USA never seen. And then it was Kendrick Lamar got the Mortal Man, and at the end he had the Tupac interview, and Tupac said he see the youth as hungry, and when he said the ground is going to open up and swallow all the rich people, and then he said the ground is the poor people because we're getting too hungry, and the rich people are getting too rich and fat. He said it might be some cannibalism, and we might start eating the rich, and I think like that's real because we're real hungry out to get it, and they're not giving it. So it just seems like we have to take it now. I mean, it's behind the scenes, but a lot of things are happening that we don't know that's going good. And I know they don't show them. You gotta like go deep and look on Google for stuff like that.
You gotta keep in mind the symbolism in that, because what you said, you saying one thing where it sounds like you're saying this, but it's really symbolic too. You know what I'm saying? What I'm
Metaphor.
Yeah, metaphor. Yeah. I mean, because you got kids in here. That's what I'm trying to.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Tupac said we're gonna be eating people.
Okay. The poor is gonna like take over. Like when you get tired of getting bullied and you just say forget it and you fight back. Like that's what he's saying. The poor is gonna get too hungry and getting tired of all the beating that we're taking and start to fight back instead of just taking and sitting back and relaxing and taking it.
It goes back
that
to us
and
taking back our rightful places. I mean, so even with Trayante saying that a threat, the threat is that the men would stand as they have done, and those images you won't get to see them being protectors and providers, but they still are.
Right. It's
so
a part
they
of
want
that.
to exclude that type of image of the manhood. Go ahead.
It's about gaining spreading that knowledge and that awareness. I had a conversation about Easter yesterday, and the way I feel about it is that Easter has its own symbolism, things going on that are not good. But the conversation went like this, because I was told that it's tradition. Tradition is tradition. It's tradition. And my comment was, well, once you learn that you've been tricked, do you still continue to play the game because it's tradition? You know, and so what everybody is saying is just that. You know what I'm saying? Once we gain that knowledge and awareness, do we continue to play the game of being dumb and inferior? You know, so that's where it is. That's where the change is coming, because there's a lot of awareness coming about. A lot of awareness making us question more. So that's really all I got to say about it, is that knowledge and awareness is what's going to make the difference.
Yeah, I think it's been an awakening point since, what was it, 2014? What was the 2012 or whatever the year we were supposed to get destroyed or whatever? And ever since they said it wasn't like it wasn't a destroyer of the earth, it was destroying of a whole realm of non-awakened people. Like since 2012, since 2012, people have been just even seeing posts and everything been coming out, videos and everything has been. I mean, not everything is not exposed, but a lot of things been getting exposed that was behind the scenes for a long time.
Cody.
You
Well,
better stop
ask the
raising your hand.
question about. Oh, I'm sorry.
You better stop raising your hand and just throw it out, girl.
I asked the question about imagery because
Right.
I had a niece who just came home from Egypt,
Mm-hmm.
and she was telling me how disrespected she was when she was in Egypt, and how she had to boss up with her gun, like, you gonna respect me because I got this. And so I was trying to tell her, well, when you got Cookie Lion and you got Nicki Minaj, why do you think they would give you respect?
I'm gonna go on a whole nother piece of that imagery there, because even before Nicki Minaj and all them, we got to understand that Egypt is not Kemet anymore. Egypt is run by Arabs that really never really had any respect for us anyway. Matter of fact, a lot of y'all think that the slave trade is over. If you get caught in the wrong place at the wrong time in Africa, you know what I'm saying, you liable to be sold in one of these Arab states, because they still got the slave trade going. They got several movies out about it, and they never stopped. You understand what I'm saying? So Egypt is not what it used to be. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, that's why when you look at these movies, it's very important that we look into the imagery and we start getting symbol literate, as they talking about, because when they start bringing out these movies and they start talking about Egyptians and you start looking at them, they look like Arabs, you right away, your radar should go up. Brother Hatim or somebody told me that the ancient Egyptians was black, especially when they talk about Moses. There were no Arabs. There was no Arabs running Egypt at that time. You know what I'm saying? Arabs recently started possessing Egypt. That's recent history. Ancient history, they was looking like us. They was mixed up like us. And we got to be clear about that. And when we clear about that, then we could understand how a sister from here could go over there and get disrespected. Now, Nicki Minaj and them is throwing, they're adding extra fuel to the fire, but they never had respect for us anyway. Another thing, y'all heard about that? Y'all know about the Aswan Dam? The Aswan Dam in Egypt is a dam that they dammed off the Nile.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what they covered up there, right? 900 pyramids that belong to what they call Upper Kemet, which were all us. Buried it underwater. Not only did they cover up the pyramids, they covered up the black people that refused to leave their homeland. So there's a campaign to destroy you and any positive image that you have of yourself. That's why we keep this going. That's why because we always got to start. Because we haven't even dipped into the history yet, y'all. We still talking about hip hop, but hip hop is ancient. Because we could take the graffiti writing, as Chaos would say, take the graffiti writing, the rapping and all that, and we ain't even gone back in the past yet. But Pete, the first thing we got to make sure y'all able to do is y'all start peeping the game that they trying to run on your mind. Right? You got to peep the game that they trying to run on your mind. Right? Because this is the issue. I know there's a lot of young people that's hungry, but I don't see them eating. And can anybody tell me what I mean? That's symbols, huh?
They ain't trying to get it.
They ain't trying to get what? What they he said what they want. See, we got a lot of people that's just hungry, but too scared to eat. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, the carcass of America is laying right here before us. I'm going to give you a line. I gave y'all homework a while ago. I said, watch the movie called The Spook Who Sat by the Door. One of the dopest movies ever made. My man made this statement in there. He said there is no way that America could hold us on our ass and police the world at the same time unless we allow them. That's exactly what they do. Matter of fact, they got two wars going on, and we ain't making no noise. Right? Now another question for y'all, and I'm done. I'll probably ask y'all this so y'all might know it. If I was to create a magic box that you could ask any question that you want to find out any answer to any problem, what type of questions would you ask? Go ahead.
Why does white people think that they have the power to control us?
All right, he said, why do white people think that they had a power to control us? Go ahead.
If we were once as great as we've been taught, what happened?
All right, what happened? Go ahead, what would you ask?
Why are some neighborhoods so negative?
All right, why are some neighborhoods so negative? Go ahead.
Why do humans have to pay to live on the earth?
Why do humans have to pay to live on the earth? Any other question? You got this magic box. And I got it. It's sitting right here. And then I answer every last question. Go ahead.
Will it be able to actually take me to a different place?
Will a box?
Like a parallel universe where none of this is actually like really a reality.
Now I won't be able to do. Oh, you gonna ask the box that? Can it take you to a parallel universe?
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else? Anything. You can ask it anything. Go ahead.
I would ask about the future.
The future. All right, what's gonna happen in the future? Okay, go ahead.
Okay, why? What you talking about?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, why is there secret societies?
Why are there secret societies? Go ahead. You got another question. See, that's what I like. Go ahead.
Why does the white people they think that they're so, like, just like what he said, why do they think they have control of us?
Okay. Go ahead.
How did Christianity become so powerful?
Huh?
How did Christianity become so powerful?
How did Christianity become so powerful? Go ahead.
What would the world be without money?
What would the world be without money? You got one? Oh, you just spoken out your lip? You had your hand. I thought you had your hand out. Go ahead. You got another one? Go ahead.
I'm just saying that Jesus is white.
Okay, cool. Go ahead. Go ahead.
What would the world be like without Europeans?
Okay. Go ahead.
Who came up with the first word?
Who came up with the first word? Cool. Go ahead.
Who was the first group of Africans to come over here, and did they come by force?
Okay. Now I got a question for you. Y'all ready?
What?
Y'all ready? Here go the question. What was your last Google search?
I do not know.
Go ahead. Huh? He said he waiting for y'all to quiet down. Go ahead.
My last Google search was my name, and I was on Google.
All right.
Instagram and everything.
His name. Go ahead. What's your last Google search?
I was looking up the definition for science.
All right, definition for science. Go ahead.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, go ahead. Your last Google search.
I said the same.
All right, you was looking for something on Facebook. How about you?
A battery that makes sense.
A battery that what?
Makes sense.
Okay.
This is science experiment.
A science experiment. Okay, cool. Go ahead.
The 13 colonies.
Okay, 13 colonies. Go ahead.
Lock hairstyles.
Lock hairstyle. Now, go ahead.
Rap instrumental beats.
Rap instrumental beats. Now, y'all was asking all these profound questions when I had this magical box, but every last one of you got the damn magical box in your pocket.
No, that's different.
No, it's not.
It is.
No, it's not. If you type in that question in Google, it's going to search all the articles. For the question that you asked right now, hold on. Matter of fact, I'll give you where you can look for your answer right now. And I got it off Google. Look up the Venus Project. Because the Venus Project is about eliminating the use of money and changes the whole economic system of the world. I've been looking these things up. I'm not looking for what is Nicki Minaj's waist size or how big is her butt. I'm asking these questions. No, I mean, really. I need y'all to understand the power of the tools that y'all have. Google is designed to answer every last question. You had a genie right there for you. They got answers about parallel universes. They got answers about what it would be like if Europeans weren't here. They got answers about the third.
Information in Google.
Huh?
Who put that
Now,
information in Google?
this is what's beautiful about it, right?
Anybody.
All right, now, hold on. Anybody could put information in Google. I done tested it. I done put up articles. And I would look up the information that I put down, and it will pop up. And I go to other computers and look at it random. It crawls and searches for the information. So there's no one central point. Google's goal is to categorize everything on the internet. So it's not an issue of who put it on. Now you're gonna have some that pay to be on top, but then if you search, because you never stop at the first source, you always go deeper. But all these questions that y'all ask, the profound questions, there are answers out there. And if there are not answers, then you need to keep asking and start posting up information for other people that might be asking the same questions as you. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Okay, I just wanted to correct just something you said, that it was an issue who put it up. It's important to know how Google works. And what you said was that you posted your own article and you had a question, you posed a question, you saw your article come up.
Right.
So that means that any one of us could go in to come out and answer that question ourselves that we want to know too.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
You can post stuff up, but then it's also, see, because think about this. We have the internet all over the world. Now the goal is to get this global net. Now because eventually this thing that's beautiful is eventually going to warp it to something horrible. I hate to tell y'all, but yo, man, it's
been there.
now. But the issue that I'm saying is, all this information is available. Like for example, there are certain channels on YouTube that deal with nothing but how to deal with white supremacy, African history. There's all. I mean, I done found. Matter of fact, I was so happy because one day I just happened to be looking on YouTube, which is owned by Google. I was looking for my elder Normal X. I got all his lectures off of YouTube. I ain't gonna say all of it, but I got his I think it's African Origins of Civilization off of YouTube. Somebody else who heard Normal, who bootlegged the tape, put it up so that I could get it. So now I got Normal stuff all logged in. They got Dr. Ben, they got Dr. Clark, they got all this stuff that you can go around and ask. And any question that you ask, more than likely, you're going to be able to find an answer to, or at least get a lead to get the answer that you're looking for. And I'm only saying that is that we have these tools in our hands, but we don't never ask those questions when we got the opportunity because we're so confused. We don't recognize a weapon because we haven't been taught that this is a weapon. Do y'all know that the internet and that your cell phones are a weapon that can either be used for you or against you? Which one would you prefer? No, what I'm saying is, would you prefer it to be used for you or against you? Huh? Exactly. I would hope so. So y'all need to learn how to use it until it go terribly wrong. Where we at? I'm sorry. How'd I get on that? What? I'll just be blacking out. I'm sorry. What?
And my thing is, one more other thing, please do not stop investing in physical books.
Oh.
Because after a while, they do control this industry where everything is stored. I mean, if they shut it down, we would have nothing else to go back to because we had already discussed that anything that's written is about to be obsolete. Whether it's handwritten, because we don't write anymore. I asked somebody for a pen the other day. Don't nobody got pens. They be like, oh, hey, I'm going to put it in my phone. You know, you don't have a pen. You don't have a pencil. You don't have writing utensils.
You know they stopped teaching our kids how to do cursive.
See?
Oh my God!
Thank you, God.
So the new,
I remember doing
baby texting.
It is.
No longer handwriting anymore. So that skill's going to be lost if we don't keep maintaining it.
Now, and this is a whole nother reason. One of the reasons that I was excited about doing this group is because I wanted to get y'all invested in putting down y'all information. Do y'all realize this is the way Kemet started? Small groups of people come together. They didn't all of a sudden sit down and build the pyramids. Hell no. If you look at the progression of how Kemet was built, it was a progression. They started at one point and they moved. You see what I'm saying? Then they moved to pyramids and they moved to building smaller, strong structures, and they started by compiling their information. We don't write no more. I don't give a damn whether you write with a pen or you write on your computer. Are you writing? Are you putting down your information? Are you recording yourself? Are you videotaping your deep thoughts? Because you have something to share with the world. It ain't just the doctors out there, because a lot of doctors are messed up. We got doctors that's running the economic system, and you see what happened with that? They don't know what they're doing. Y'all are the future. Y'all are the hope. And if y'all not recording your thoughts now, when you get in college and you think, because really what start to happen is in college, they start shifting. Anybody that's been in college, they start shifting how you write. They start shifting how you think. Right? It's almost like when you write a paper in college, right? They teach you how to pick out the most boring thing in your point and to reveal what the boring thing is, and then to share with the people why it's so boring. You know what I'm saying? Now, try writing something like that on one of your posts. Try writing like that on Facebook. No, we pick out the most exciting thing and we work on that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all right now, y'all writing, but y'all not cataloging it. We're not sharing our knowledge. We're not sharing our thoughts. That's all I'm saying. But, all right, where we at? Y'all can't let me just go off like that.
Because you're so excited.
I get excited. I'm sorry.
I had to let you get it out.
You ain't got no, because we running out of time. All right. So we finished the chapter. Anything on the chapter before I jump to the next thing? Go ahead.
My aunt said that the white man trying to get all the black men in jail so then they could take over our women.
What?
Oh no, y'all.
No, what?
He said that the white man is trying to get all the black men in prison so that they could get our women.
Oh, I thought he said the white man's trying to get called a black man in prison so they can get all the women.
So, and get some of y'all in prison so they get you too.
Ready, math. You ready?
Huh?
Math.
Oh, yeah, we can do the math. Oh, but I do got one point to add to that. See, I'm about to go off. Y'all better stop. Here we go. How many of y'all ever heard of a pirate's booty?
I heard of
the pirate's booty.
The pirate is booty?
No. Yeah, but the pirate's booty.
Oh.
Or how about the booty of war? Or the spoils of war? It's funny, right? It's funny, right? But you know they call the spoils of war booty. Y'all do know that, right? Booty.
Oh, you talking about when pirates be like, I found my booty?
I found my booty. When a pirate say I found my booty, because they got it in a battle and they took it, right? A treasure that you acquired during war. If this was a village and I came in and killed all the men, I would take away the booty. What is the booty?
The treasure.
The treasure. But what is the treasure?
The women.
And the kids.
So if they do take a lot of us to jail,
No, it'll be the kids too.
they taking the treasure.
But what if
What if what? Go ahead.
Would they take the kids too, or just the women?
They would now, and some would take all the kids, but one of the rules of war is that I will kill all the sons. I will keep the daughters. I will kill all the sons. I don't care how young they are, because if the son get wind that I was one of the ones that killed his father, what is he going to do?
kill you? Try to kill you?
Exactly.
What if he already knows?
Don't know where you.
If he already knows, I'm gonna kill him on spot.
But he survives though.
All right, cool. Then I messed up.
Afro Samurai.
I'm sorry. I don't even know. Where we supposed to go to math?
Yes.
Tracy, you gonna do this one?
I just hate that because I got it because first of all, my worst enemy.
You're smarter than them? I feel like that's what you're saying.
That's really what I'm saying. 18 years. 18 years.
All right, for the math part, we got the Vedic math. Now, what I'm doing is I have the PDF. How many of y'all have your own Gmail account or your own email account where if I send you this book, you'll be able to get it? This is just the elementary level. All right? I got the geometry, and I think they got one for calculus. All these are free. So I'm waiting for it to come up. So if I post it up, everybody be able to get it. Oh, man. Yeah, sit your butt down, please. Sit down, Miss Sasha.
That's not so funny, bro. That's me, Warren.
All right. Is it?
Yeah.
How far down you
I mean, I can do the review. A lot of these.
I mean, I don't know. Right. Can she write? Pay attention. We only got a couple minutes.
Okay, this isn't gonna take long, but for some of us, this is a review. When we talk about the whole, we're talking about say for instance the number 10. 10 is a whole, right?
Yes.
However, if you have 7, that's part of a whole, right?
Right.
Okay, so when we look at this Vedic math and we're doing the mental addition, the way that we look at it is we complete the whole, and what's left over we add to it. You understand that?
Yes.
Okay, like for instance, an example. I got this right.
Huh?
What's the more spell? Tapping out.
There you go. It'll pop up in a second. Keep on. We got to dance, quiet.
Okay.
Dance. You want to go up a little bit more?
Yeah, this one.
You roll a little bit.
Oh, it broke.
Oh, okay.
Now you gotta erase it.
Yeah, I leave at 12. Okay, so
Okay, like for instance, if we take a number such as 49 plus 5. To complete this whole, what would be the closest whole for 49?
50.
Closest whole for 50. 50, right? So for 50, how many are we away from 50? One. So we're going to say...
No, flip your paper that y'all got from the thing and write it on the back.
All right, now, from here on out, bring pencils and pens. You can't learn without pencil or pens, or bring your tablet and keep notes.
So we're one away, right? So if we take one away from the 5 to make it, if we take 1 away from the 5 to make it 50, then what are we left with the 5? 4. So then we'll have 50 plus 4. What's 50 plus 4?
54.
The point in the Vedic math is to make it so it's easy for you to work with. This is good for when you're doing tests and stuff like that. If you need to add something quickly, if you go ahead, if you look at it both ways, where you complete the whole and use whatever's left over from the next number to use that how you need to. You can do it the other way also.
Yeah, I'm good. You gotta do your own style. But you not get up, I'll end up talking about something else. Yeah, actually.
Then put the answer behind it.
Just like
Just do those problems below you.
Okay.
Just work. Just call out the problem.
We're gonna look at the 37 plus 6.
So you make it 40.
You gonna the 37 is close to 40. So to make it 40, how many did we need?
3.
And leave how many? Leave how much?
3.
Right. So that made it 3. So what do we take from the 6? 3. So if we add 3 and take 3 away, what does that give us?
0.
So that's why we're not messing with anything by moving things around. What is it?
43.
43.
That right?
When you're adding and subtracting the same number, it's going to always give you 0. So you're not messing up your numbers. You're just making them easy for you to work with. Let's try another one. Let's try 28 plus 6. What are we going to make? 30 plus? Oh, where am I going? 30 plus 4. So what's our answer?
34.
30.
Y'all can get to it easier that way, right? That's what it is. We're using, with the Vedic, we're using the mental. We're opening up your brain so that you can add quickly. You can subtract quickly. Do y'all understand that?
Yeah.
Okay, so without writing it down, can somebody help me out with 38 plus 7?
Me.
Rakayla.
Do it.
In your head. 30 and 7.
Said 45. 45. 38, 45. Good job. Any questions?
Yes.
I'm listening.
So when you do the bottom part, so why did you put negative? I mean, why did you put
45.
Yes. A long time ago, Trina. A long time ago.
By me.
Why you gotta call my name?
When you're taking away, Takis, when you're taking it away from the bottom, it's what you're adding to the top to make that a whole number.
Right.
So it still balances out the same way. So that's why.
So what if your bottom was 1 and your top was 29? Okay, you right. I wonder.
So what would you do for that?
Bottom, would you still, wouldn't you just
If
put-
you do that, it still works out the same way, right? So what's gonna be left on the bottom? Nothing. So the answer will be what?
0. It would be the
29 plus 1? 30, right? But you're just adding 1, so that's a little bit easier.
All right, you done? Completing hoes. All right. So let's do a couple of problems. Let's do a couple more problems. 57 and 7. Let's go. What is it? 57 plus 7.
64.
There you go. All right. 69 and 4.
69 and 4?
Yeah. All right. Is he right?
Yeah.
Let's see if we get some more. Now, remember, one of the reasons I want us to do Vedic math because I want y'all to be able to do these numbers quick in your head. Because we're moving to a lot of computerized tests, and you only got a limited amount of time. You ain't got a lot of space to even do a lot of scratch papers and stuff. So you need to be able to do the basic math the fastest. All right. So
Peekaboo.
now here. All right.
Hi.
So now, when addition sums has a carry like 56 plus 26, you can add them in your head like this. 56 plus 26, you get 7 tens or 70. Then in the units, you have 6 plus 6, which is 12, which brings it up to 82. Y'all understand what just happened?
Yep.
50, all right. You take all the tens, you add them together. Then you take all the ones, you add them together, and then you add it.
Place
But,
value.
huh?
Place value.
Place value. All right, so now, y'all got it, right? All right, cool. This is step higher.
Wait a minute. Somebody said no.
Oh, okay. Let me go back down.
Don't worry about
Right there.
it. Don't worry.
All right. So if we was to take 37 and 47, right? 37 plus 47. The first things we looking for is those tens. How many tens are there? It's 7 tens. 70, right? 3 and 4 is 7. 70, right? How many ones is it? 14. 7 and 7. So now we got 70 and 14, which equals what?
84.
84. Y'all see that? All right, here we go. 55 and 28. How many tens? Start with the tens. How many tens we got? 7. How many ones do we got?
13.
We got 13, which leaves 110, which we add to the number we just had, plus the 3s, which equals what? 83. See now, because this is the point. Brothers and sisters, listen to me. There is a saying that you will never make more money than you can count. Right? Now, what I'm trying to get y'all to is where I'm going to be able to put up 16 million times 12 million. And I want, see, don't get punked out by the numbers because you'll never be able to carry that amount of money. Our people have been scared off by numbers. It's nothing.
16 times
60. There you go. There you go. See, now, in Vedic math, what they show you is the place values. You start using the place values. You add tens and tens, not tens and ones. You add hundreds and hundreds, thousands and thousands, hundreds, thousands, and 100,000, and then you work your way down. Then you add all of them together. Don't get punked out by the numbers because according to what we learned in the previous week, how many numbers are there?
9.
9 numbers. 9 numbers. Zero is not a number. 0 is a state.
It's a state.
It's a state of being.
Nothingness is a state of being.
Nothingness. The ultimate. I mean, think about it. What is meditation trying to teach us to get to? 0. Which is very hard to comprehend. It's something that you can't wrap your mind around. And why when you're trying to wrap your mind around it, you get confused. And then it's just when you release and let go, it vanishes. Go ahead. That's the alternate universe you're talking about anyway. But go ahead.
If it's nothing, then why does it have a physical form?
That is an excellent question. If it's nothing, he said, if it's nothing, why does it have a physical form? Because it's only through nothing that we could go to the next level.
What?
So we had represented. Listen, how do I get from 9 to 10? What do I have to go through to get from 9 to 10?
Another level.
Huh?
You had that straight line?
What straight line?
That
1, and we got to add a what? 0. In order for us to move to the teens, we have to go through 0. How do I get from 19 to 20? What do I have to go through? 2 and 0. 0 moves us from one state to another, just like in meditation. Right? A lot of people, like for example, you hear people say, oh man, he ain't gonna never kick that drug habit until he hit rock bottom, until he loses everything. That's the same thing with rites of passage. Rites of passage is about pushing you to 0. Pushing you to 0. Pushing you to a point in your life where you done felt that you done lost everything so that you could really see what you had. Math is nothing. When we talk about the math, because I broke down the numbers for you, math is nothing but a path of life. If you follow that math, matter of fact, each one of you, we can determine where you are in your life. What number you should be working on right now. Mathematics. All right, now, 55 and 28. We did that one already. Let's move to 29 and 44. Let's go.
29 and 44.
Right. First, give me how many 10?
73.
73. All right, cool. All right, we need, huh? 35, 49. Y'all writing it down? No.
84.
I got some, let me say something.
I'm sorry.
This was it was a good point. If when you're adding, say you're adding money, don't you put all your dimes together, your quarters together, right? Your pennies together. That's what you're doing. You're adding your dimes up, right? Now when you get 13 pennies, how many dimes do you have in that?
13.
You have one dime in that.
A dime.
So when you get that one dime, you move that over to the rest of the dimes, right? Because that moves it up, right? So that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing with the Vedic math. 35 plus 49. That's 3 dimes plus 4 dimes, right? So you're adding those dimes up. So when you get to your pennies, you add them up, but you got to see how many dimes you have in your pennies. When you find out how many dollars you have in your pennies, you move that over to the dimes. You understand? So,
now, girl, go ahead.
so let's look at 38 plus 26. 38 plus 26. How many? Because y'all saying it, but y'all ain't confident.
I just said 64.
64. So do y'all get that concept now? Mentally, you can add your dimes up. When you get to your pennies and they over that dime, you move that over to your dimes, right? That's what that is.
And another way, because the way she was just showing you also, we know that we can make this 40 by taking 2 for 26, right? I mean, the PC is, I want you to be able to look at numbers, and I want the numbers to immediately start talking to you.
Right.
Once you understand the language, it don't matter what they throw at you, you like, boom. Because most of the time we lose in mathematics because we already intimidated. We intimidated by the number. Somebody say a large number, ooh. Y'all getting punked out by 1 million? Don't get punked out by 1 million. Don't get punked out by 1,000. Right? Because we know there's only how many numbers? And the rest of them are just different manifestations of that number. Now let me show you how that works. You look at mythology. You have one deity that will come down to earth and he'll appear as a woman. Come back another time, appear as a man. Next thing you know, it appears as a child. This one entity appearing in many different forms, just like the numbers. This is a mythological game. But we thinking that it's about just adding up quantities. No, it's really about adding qualities, because when you understand it. See, for example, there's only so many ways you can add a 9, so many ways you can add a 10, a 8, 7, 6. And when you start breaking numbers down, you start seeing the patterns. That's what Tracy was trying to show you earlier when she had you working with a circle. Because when you work with the circle, you see that a 1 becomes a 10, and then it becomes a 19, then it comes a 29. No, my fault, not 29. It becomes a 28. Then it moves up, and then it's 37. Then it moves up. And all those are different pictures of the number 1. All right? Now, so don't get confused. So we could go up to 100s, we go up to 1,000s, and you'll be able to do it quick. Now, the only thing I'm asking is start doing your math on the left rather than the right. Because as I told y'all before, right? If I owed you $1,500,056, and I brought you the $1,495,000, would you care about the change that I didn't bring?
No. Yes.
No.
You'd be wasting my time. I just shoot you and keep the money. I'm dropping the money right here. You know how much it is. You know how much I owe you.
Never mind.
What are you concerned about? You're concerned about the big numbers, right? The way they got us dealing with math, we're dealing with the small pennies first, and we work our way up. That's why we start on our right, and we move and we borrow, right? This is what I told the people last week. For example, if we was to do something simple like 300 plus 563. The way they teach us math, we start down here. So the first thing I learned how to do in math is something that I will do for the rest of my life. I learned how to borrow. Listen to me. I learned how to borrow. So in order, well, my fault. Let me switch this around. Where's the eraser?
Looks like right there on that table.
Let's do a subtraction problem. Let's say I'm taking away, I got a number like 462, and I'm subtracting 399. Right? First thing I got to do in order to get that done is I got to do what?
Borrow.
I got to borrow. In the Vedic math system, they teach you a different way of thinking. Listen, this whole economy is based on individuals who don't have anything going out and doing what? The first thing you learn in math when you're a kid is you learn how to borrow. So you learn how to promote their system of supremacy over you. Because it's natural to you. I'm supposed to borrow. But when you're doing Vedic math, man, it's beautiful. Check this out. I don't borrow no more. Right? I start over here. I know 4 minus 3 is what? 1. All right. So then I go 6 minus 9. Oh man, can 6 take away 9? No. So what I need to do is I don't borrow, I loan. So from this one right here, I'm going to loan this one to that one right there. When you start from the left, you're no longer a borrower. You're a loaner. What's the difference between a borrower and a loaner in the economic system? Go ahead.
When you borrow, you take it away, and when you loan, you give it.
You're giving. It's a whole different mind state. You see what I'm saying? I need you to be a consumer. I need you to be focused on borrow. I need you to look at a car that you can't really afford and go out and get it because you keep my system going because now you're in debt to me. And as long as you're in debt, you can never be free. I want y'all to think about this. We got a bunch of revolutionaries supposedly out here. You look on YouTube, but if they owe money on their house, if they owe money on their car, they can't really be a revolutionary because they'll come in and they will get you on that. As long as we're borrowing, we can never be free. As a matter of fact, if you look in the scripture, since we on one of those holidays, and I'm about to finish, one of the major sins that you could die, that you was not supposed to die with in Judaism and Islam is what? Debt. But yet, y'all being taught in the system how to start off your whole mathematic adventure in debt. All right. Any questions before I move on? Any questions? Huh? Oh, what's the answer? No, it ain't 163 because we know we just took the one from there. So it's 16 minus 9, which is going to give us 7. And we're going to take from that, which is going to be 6. And it's going to put 12 up there, so it's going to be 63. Y'all see that? Now, this is thought practice. Now, understand when reason we started doing math is because it's one thing for us to just go up and have a discussion, but it's another thing for us to give you thought experiments, thought practice. If I want you to be free, I got to give you things to practice with. Math. One of the basic things that we can start teaching y'all and helping y'all form how y'all think. Any questions? Questions? None? Comments? None? Go ahead.
So what's the difference?
Not what's the difference between like, yeah, what's the difference between this and like just normal math?
All right.
That's good.
Vedic math.
Because I'm asking because the way the problem is, I'm still so confused.
Now, the reason that you're doing now, I want y'all to think about this. The reason I'm saying put the paper down, the reason I'm saying start from the left is because I'm trying to get you to change the way that you think. If you keep doing things the same way you've been doing them, you're going to keep getting the same results that you've been getting. Now, I'm asking you to stop that and start doing something else. That means you have to start from scratch, which means that you have to activate the first level in being a student. What is the first thing a student needs to have to be a great student?
Willingness. A pencil.
Willingness. But there's one more thing that's even more important. Huh? Humbleness. Many of us don't want to be. Many of us can't learn because we're not humble. Every time you open up a book, you got to be open and humble to the message that it's giving you, even if you don't like the fool that wrote it. Go ahead.
Okay, last class you said it was 9, and then 10 at the end.
Mm-hmm.
It was something like that. Did you change it in this one? I didn't remember.
Say what?
Okay.
All right. Those that wasn't here is all from 9 lines from 10. I taught them how to do quick subtraction. Now we couldn't do all from 9 lines from 10 on this one because there's not, like, we don't have no zeros in there. So if I was to say, like, for example, if you're dealing with money, you go to the store, right? For those that wasn't here, I'm sending you to the store, and I say, hey, I got $1 million. I got a car that costs $482,362. If right now you tell me how much change I'm going to get back, you keep the $1 million. Could you do it without picking up a piece of paper?
No.
Yes.
Go ahead.
What's the number you said?
You know it's a million.
Yeah, you want to push it up to 500,000. Then you subtract from that right there.
There's a quicker way. Now, if we start from, we're going to start from the left, right? Now, the Vedic mantra for it is all from 9, last from 10. Now, if I was to put a million up here, we know that I would have to do this.
6 million.
I would have to mark out. And the last one would be 10. All these numbers will be 9, and the last one will be 10. So when I'm subtracting from whole numbers, I don't have to even put it up there. I know that the rule is all from 9, last from 10. So 9 minus 4 is what?
517.
Say it, Cleve. What is it?
The first 3 is 517. 6. The next one is 6. 3 and 8.
All from 9, last from 10. Right? Let's make it easier. I'm going to do it like this. I have $10. I see you do store. You go up and it's $7.56. How much change should you bring me back? $10. All from 9, last from 10.
2.
Go ahead. Right here. Do it. You know it. Do it.
I'm so confused. What just
$2.
happened?
Say it.
$2.44.
$2.44. All from 9, last from 10. You see it? 9, 9, 10. Let's say I have $100. $100. Right? Let's say it's 67.73. How much change should you bring? How much change should you bring back if it's 100?
27.
You said what?
32.27.
You said what?
Yes.
All right. All right. All from 9, last from 10. So we'll go a little bit, Tracy will go a little bit more into it. But with Vedic math, we starting a little bit different. I'm asking you to think a little bit different. So that when you run into the concept that black folks was able to do different things than we was taught in our history class, it won't be as shocking to you because you're already thinking differently anyway. So Vedic math actually use a whole nother side of your brain because you're starting to do the math in a different way. Ask your question. Any other questions? I never make it to the book. All right, so I have this whole book. This book is free, and it goes all the way. This is elementary, so they got shortcuts to find square roots. Like for example, they got elementary students find the square root of 6,889.
What?
Yeah. This is little kids. This is Cleve's age.
They ain't teach me that.
You know what I'm saying? They got them going through 1, 2, 3 step equations. You know what I'm saying? And all this is elementary math, but they make it so easy. Because the piece is, once you get over your intimidation by the numbers, math is nothing. All right. Becoming symbol literate. I won't even go into my book. I'll show you for the next time. So, because we gotta go. I gotta pick up my watch. Any questions? Because y'all, this is the time to ask anything. All right, challenge. I asked everybody to watch Spook Who Sat by the Door. Huh? I asked everybody to watch Spook Who Sat by the Door. I'm going to come back. Now, what I want y'all to start doing, I want y'all to start practicing symbol literacy. We've been reading this hip-hop book, and it got us into the numbers, but he also talk about images and things like this. I want y'all to take time to critically analyze everything that you're watching. I don't care if you're watching Avatar. I don't care if you're watching a soap opera. I don't care if you're watching The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I want you to start recognizing some of the symbols that's being thrown at you. And I want you to see how blatant some of this stuff is. Because they're trying to train us in a certain way. And because we're not really catching it with our conscious mind. How many of y'all know what the conscious mind's real job is? Y'all know what the conscious mind is, right?
To pick up on unseen.
Nah, not really. The conscious mind, you got 3 parts of mind. You got the conscious, you got the unconscious, and you got what they call the superconscious. All right, now, the conscious is what you're in right now, most of y'all, where we're able to interact person to person. We're able to talk. But the conscious mind's major job is to make sure and to guard everything that goes into the subconscious mind. Because the subconscious mind does not care. It's like fertile soil. All thoughts are like a seed to it. And if I could get past your conscious mind, that seed that I was able to get past there will start to grow. Right? So if I'm able to knock you unconscious, like for example, if I'm good enough at a commercial, if I'm good at making commercials, I can make a commercial that can lull you into a light trance where the conscious mind is going, and I can plant the seed so that you want my product. Go on, teach it, girl.
You know what I heard today? It's not just the images that we see. We have to be careful of the sounds.
Oh, man.
As well, the frequency that they're putting out. I was listening to a commercial. Of course, it said nothing about, oh, yes, it was. It was talking about changing your cell phone. Mm-hmm. And then they didn't say who it was. But it was like, it was a T-Mobile jingle. Mm-hmm. I just heard the jingle, and I was like, that's T-Mobile.
You know what it is?
That's crazy.
Right. You can associate, see, because the whole piece is, the only thing is, make sure that when you're watching these TV shows, when you go to the movies, look at the symbols that they're throwing at you. When I was young, they was real blatant with it. Like, for example, we started studying Hotep, right? Imhotep. And then they came out with a movie called Stargate. Anybody remember Stargate? Yeah. Do y'all remember Imhotep and Stargate? No. Oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? We got Imhotep, father of medicine, builder of the pyramid. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden in Stargate, he's the villain of the whole movie.
I've never seen that movie.
Oh, huh?
I mean, the Mummy, that's how Bob always said it.
Oh, the Mummy. Oh, my God, the Mummy? I mean, y'all seen the Mummy, right?
Yeah,
no.
He wasn't in
That's the third one, the first one.
The very first one. See, we get into the sequels, that's a whole nother thing. But when you're watching these movies, I want you to start looking at the symbols so we can start breaking these down. And if you have any of these things that you want to talk about, we can take time to break them down because it's important that we start getting y'all where y'all at. Even the music videos y'all watching. If you're only interested in music videos, shows, video games, all these things present images to our minds. That if we are not conscious of what's being perpetrated upon us, we will fall into the traps. I'm just trying to get y'all ready. You had a question and I'm done. Did you or no? No question? All right. So we'll start on my book. I'll push it back again. So we'll be back here in 2 weeks. Adults will meet next week. If y'all gonna make it or whatever.
No, we're gonna make it.
So I'm closing. Final thoughts. What?
Why do adults go next week?
All right. So now, adults, we come together so that we could plan and so that we also can study on our own. You know what I'm saying? Because one of the pieces that we want to do is we want to be prepared to answer any of your questions and also be thinking to a level where we can start asking some of the questions that might get y'all involved in the discussion a little bit more. Because it ain't really learning if y'all ain't really discussing. Because if y'all sit quiet like y'all are now, it's almost like we're in school. The actual way that we're supposed to learn, I think they call it like a didactic. It's like more of a conversation. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like you would ask me a question, and then I will flip it around, and by the time I get done, you answered the question that you asked me. That's the way learning is supposed to go. Because that's the only way it sticks. Nothing else? Go and eat. I gotta go get my clothes. Yes, ma'am.
Y'all have to get drunk.
Oh, okay. I thought it was.
Does that make sense?
You are now listening to
So do
Giammi
you all feel
Journey
like y'all
Radio.
got something today? Yes. Okay, so what do y'all think y'all should just...
This is a Heart of a Symbol production. Where we strive to blow up your old paradigms.